Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mental House with me, your host, Khadija. Um, what I want to do first and foremost is I want to give a shout out to my new subscribers, people I have not had a chance to converse with. I want to thank y'all for being out there, for finding my channel. Uh, I'm still in the process of learning this stuff, and I know it's been a while, but um, you know how it is when you get past a certain age, it becomes a little difficult if you're doing it yourself. But we get through it all the time. So I want to thank y'all for being out there and continuing and, and just continuing to listen to the subjects that I think are important to our community and to our growth. Um, so I'm gonna kind of let a little at a time go past because I don't want to go in too deep, too early. So this conversation though is gonna be about Clarice. I mean, not Clarice. That's my Clarice was my son's guinea pig. My stepson's guinea pig. So I'm definitely not talking about Clarice. I'm talking about Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields. The quote. Um, and there's some things that somebody really needs to um, talk to her because everybody's scared. They're scared they're going to get knocked out. So nobody's really telling her the truth, really. But she needs an older person to really just drop a few tidbits to you. You can pick them up if you want to, or you can leave them alone. Um, because, see, Claressa is a lot rough around the edges, okay? And so, what she's come from, though, because I saw her movie, to where she comes from and to where she is now, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of internal work. And there's still a lot more that needs to be done, like with all of us. Because every day should be a day where you try to determine um, are you being your better self? A lot of times, the role models that we have um, set us up for mm, raw behavior. Um, and I noticed that I'm just going to mention two things in general. And I'm going to mention Angel Reese and what you said about Angel Reese. Um, and you being the side chick, really, basically, of Papoose. Okay? And I know you may love him, and I love him. I just love him. No, but you a side chick, baby. And the first thing I want to say about that is he's married. And I know you want to say that's their thing and that's their thing, but really it's not. It is their thing, but you in it, okay? And there's a lot. I follow boxing because my brother was a diamond belt and a golden glove champion in the state that I live in. So I follow boxing. I follow it all, mostly amateur, from the '84 Olympic class that was boycotted against, or '80, I think. Um, I I know a lot of boxers. Okay, I know how they live. I know how they think. But what you're doing right now, baby girl, is a lot of it is due to the roughness that you have in terms of your behavior. You don't show very many social skills of behavior when you think it's acceptable to be out here parading another woman's husband, talking about when he gets himself together and you want to have a couple kids and you want to do this and you and Pap. He's with me all the time. baby, it just make me want to hug you because he can be with you all the time. But I guarantee you, if his wife wants him back and he never wanted to leave his wife, you'll be sitting your ass there alone because he will go back to his wife and they'll act like you never existed. Trust me. See, and because you don't know about marriage and you've never seen a standard or even a relationship that was bound by a marriage, a lot of times you can't even fathom some of this stuff. And that's like a lot of that your generation. A lot of y'all don't know what it's like to wake up with a father in the home and a mother. I'm not talking about a stepfather. I'm talking about a father, and not somebody that's trying to molest you or whatever. A lot of us don't know, especially in the hood, what that looks like. Like a Leave It to Beaver family waking up, sort of. I ain't saying, I'm talking about a hood Leave It to Beaver. Maybe your daddy is a preacher or a deacon or a teacher or whatever, but he's married and he's committed to his family. A lot of us don't see that. We don't even see men that provide. Now, that's not my story, but I understand it because I had to service and they live in my neighborhood, and I eventually began to work with people that looked like me but had totally different experiences than me. And I was like, damn, how they live like this? Your mother had alcohol problems, am I right? I think we alluded to that in the movie. And I know, and I don't want to get on here and talk about nobody's mama, because I don't want nobody talking about mine or me. But you're not too much younger than my oldest daughter. And I have to say this to you because not that I was fake, but there were some things about myself that I kept private. And when my daughter got old enough, we were able to talk and discuss these things because it would have been inappropriate as a parent to allow my daughter to be exposed to some things. The fact that and it has nothing to do with, because a lot of people, rich or poor, get exposed to sexual assault and things like that. So I'm not coming from that spot. I'm talking about when you talked about how you and your brother suffered so much and y'all was poor and you was tired of that shit. See, I never came home and never flicked the light switch and the lights didn't come on. So I realized I had an advantage. See, I didn't know that then, but I know that now. Because I have friends that used to say, can I run a cord through your this, that? And I'm like, what? No, I asked my mom and see what. No, I don't want you to ask your mom. Well, then I know I can't do it. Okay. So, but my point being, there was somebody that wasn't raised around that type of environment, and the mama had the kids out there trying to find a neighbor that they could run the extension cord to. I just ain't never been that family, and I just ain't never G'd for that because I am conservative to a degree that, what did Michael say? If you can't feed your baby, yeah, then don't have a baby. I grew up like that. So it's hard for me, just like it's hard for some of y'all to relate to my mindset. It's hard for me to relate to why you would think it's acceptable to live out loud with a man that's still married. You should wait till he get his divorce first. Okay? Wait till his well, it don't matter now, does it? But my point is, Claressa, you always gonna be looked at like that. I hate that you so involved with Remy Ma and all this because that might be what allows you to lose your next fight because you're not real focused. You all over the place. And now you fucking with Angel Reese, and that's another thing that grows to your rawness and your inability to sit down and shut up. I'm just gonna be real with you. You had no business saying what you said. That's a thought you could have kept to yourself. But see, when you don't have no mother with, see, when you raised with a mother that passes that down, they'll give you that look, like the black woman stare. Don't you dare say nothing like that. You can't say everything you think, and you're taught that from an early age. That's not cool. Or maybe you was in some other sorority or Kabibi or some other group that showed you etiquette. And no disrespect, you say things that show just how uncouth you are. So no disrespect, because like I said, I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna check your fight out in July. I want you to win. I want you to be successful. Okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, unfortunately, you didn't get to fight Layla Ali. But had you fought, I think that would have gave you the toughest fight of your life. And she probably would have knocked you out. Okay? So I understand women's boxing. I know that would have been a good match, but y'all was just in a different time, in a different space. So that's why you have been what do you say? How they said, you have been adjudicated the greatest of all times. Okay, but there's a lot of people that's in your age or younger don't know about Layla Ali. Okay, so that would have been a hell of a fight, and I know it would have. So I ain't talking about what Kalila said, because that was pretty far out. But um, she knows it would have been a good fight. But you don't have to build yourself up by tearing other people down. And the fact that you said ain't nobody saying Angel Reese, how'd you say it on your Twitter? Ain't nobody saying that Angel Reese don't have no accolades or she's not good. I'm saying I thought the person with the most accolades and accomplishments would win the award. Oh, I'm Team Angel. Well, if you was, you wouldn't have made that comment, baby. You really wouldn't have made that. Because when one of us win, all of us win, really. If you really know that. Second of all, it's not just the accolades. Okay, it's how you carry yourself off, um, off the camera. It's what you do to uplift the sport. It's how children look up to you. It's the type of role model that all that stuff go into it. And uh, unfortunately, because a lot of y'all grew up in broken families, you don't think nothing is wrong with you sitting up here parading another woman's husband, and want to know why you ain't got no award. Man, you probably ain't gonna never get nothing until you get this situation straight. Don't you realize that your boyfriend and his wife had a very, very successful um, reality show that they came on together? Huh? Do you know how many fans and things they picked up from that? So there's some people that's always going to see your husband as that. Your boyfriend, I'm sorry. And until he becomes your husband, you should have kept that situation under wraps. You really should have. Because it's too much of a distraction. And just like this situation with Angel Reese, you showing your lack of social skills by saying what you said about her. Because if you team Angel, then nothing should have been said, honey. Nothing. Okay? And that's what I mean about your rough around the edges. And if you had some mother with, your mama would have let you know a long time ago that kind of shit is unacceptable. You don't have to dim somebody else's light to make yours shine. And that to me, honey, is what it seems like that you're doing. Now, I'm not going to stay on here long with you, but what I'm saying is you need to get refocused and recentered. You probably need to apologize to Angel Reese so you can humble yourself and get back on track. Because now your arrogance is being misconstrued with what a growth is. Great means not only in the ring, but outside of it as well. Like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali wasn't no perfect man, and you ain't either. And you won't be, and neither am I, or nobody else walking down here. But you notice how he had the people behind him? And he made a whole lot of mistakes. Whole lot. At the end of the day, when we find out another kid popped up that belonged to Muhammad, we go, wow. But I don't remember him in no shape, form, or fashion losing the respect of the people. Okay? And that's what you want to keep going for yourself. Oh, I know about Layla's mama. And I remember how she followed him to Africa while Kalila was there. Okay, and he subsequently ended up marrying her. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you is don't let that be the reason for your not being in a position where you stay out of the limelight with all that bullshit. You don't need to be all in it. You don't need to be going back and forth with Remy. You should let your boyfriend straighten out that stuff, and you need to get refocused again. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your next fight. I guarantee it. So you probably, if you get a chance to hear this, and if somebody know you, I hope they send it to you. Because you really need to sit down now and watch where you going. Watch how you moving. Watch how you moving. Because that was totally unnecessary for you to say that about your sister. And then say, I'm Team Angel. Shh. If you are, I would hate to see an unteam mate. Okay? Because that's just ridiculous. Your time is coming. Your time is coming. And you didn't have to knock her down. That was totally unnecessary. Just like you don't have to be over here making all these moves with this woman's husband. And trust me, he can go back at any time. And you talking about you want to have some babies with somebody. Okay, I'm telling you what your mama should have. And with that being said, if you like what you hear, please like, subscribe, and share my channel. And I will see you in the next video. I want to know what y'all think. Am I out of order? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know.